idea to have a wildlife garden came up a couple of years ago. We were talking about making sort of destination points within the gardens. We have an herb garden, we have an enabling garden, and it's nice to be able to tell people to go and see something in particular in the gardens. And a hummingbird garden and a butterfly garden seemed like great destinations to create for people.
And it's a natural attraction for the wide variety of species that already inhabit or always migrate through our region.
We really came up with a palette of plants that would work for attracting butterflies and hummingbirds and work in our climate, and then used our landscape design skills to arrange them in a way that would make sense for us.
So year-round sightings of hummingbirds or butterflies will now be a common thing in what has turned out to be an exceptional garden setting.
It is a fairly unique idea for this region. We do have a lot of hummingbirds in this area. We have a lot of butterflies as well. So hummingbird gardens are not uncommon in the Southwest. But we have to deal with a totally different set of environmental factors. So the plant selection varies from garden to garden. So our plant selection is quite a bit different than it would be in somewhere like Albuquerque or in Southern California or even in Arizona.
But wherever the hummingbirds hover, there is a particular flower structure they prefer because it's not bee-friendly.
Hummingbirds are generally attracted to plants with tubular flowers because tubular flowers do not attract bees. And hummingbirds, like the rest of us, are a little bit intimidated by bees. The yellow bells that we see over here, the Mexican honeysuckle, things like penstemons, salvias are great hummingbird plants. But our Australian plants will bloom in the wintertime for us, which makes a great addition to a hummingbird garden because you can continue to feed hummingbirds year-round.
Although our butterfly population can be plentiful, you're likely to see fewer flutterbys when the weather gets cold. But for most of the year, we have our choice of plants that are so attractive to butterflies, they're named after them.
We have things like butterfly bush, a number of different kinds of sunflowers and members of the sunflower family that are very attractive to butterflies, and also milkweeds, which are great butterfly plants as well.
The beautiful and sustainable example of our own homegrown butterflies, along with the aerial acrobatics of the hummingbirds, should make this wildlife garden a popular stop on the preserve's regularly scheduled guided tours. And even in its final stages of completion, it's worth a visit for some work-in-progress tips from our staff about how to give your own garden wings.
While we're actively working on these gardens, our gardeners are available to answer questions, to point out particular things that visitors may not notice for themselves, and to give pointers on planting while they are planting.